You might have heard that n8n is used for business automation. And yes, that's true. Tech teams use it to connect the apps to automate reports and manage customer data. But n8n can be used not just for business. It is perfect for day-to-day life as well, especially for us multitasking superheroes who work their 9-to-5 job, run households, manage kids and their school schedules, and also have to deal with grocery shopping, birthdays invites, and a lot of other stuff. And in this video, I will show you how to set up an AI workflow that will be actually useful for your everyday life and will make your routine a little bit easier. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I optimize the communications with my child's school using n8n. And this is the workflow I use to parse my inbox and get all the school events into my calendar and into my Telegram messenger. So now I finally can be sure I'm not missing anything important. Let's now take a look at this workflow and see which parts it consists of, and then I will show you step by step how to recreate it for yourself. So first we have a Gmail trigger. Gmail trigger works so it listens to your email inbox. For every new message that falls into certain conditions you have here, it will trigger the workflow. The second part of this workflow is AI agent, and I'm using ChatGPT here. This AI agent will check all these emails that are coming from this trigger and see if there is any mention of event that you need to know, and if there is one, then it will add it to the Google Calendar and send a notification to my Telegram. So easy like that, and extremely helpful, I should say. So now let's dive deeper into the implementation. I'm going to create a new workflow and show you how to set up everything from scratch. Okay, so now let's go here and create a new workflow. And I'm using my own self-hosted n8n instance. You can also use a cloud one, but you will have to pay a subscription fee. And if you want to have your own instance just like I do, then you can check out this tutorial when I'm explaining how to deploy n8n to the AWS cloud, and it's gonna be free or almost free for you. So let's get started with our workflow, and let's add the first step. First step will be our Gmail trigger, so click here, and now you can just search here Gmail and select this one, and here is one trigger on message received. And here you can see that there are some parameters that you need to set. First, you need to create a credentials. If you use a self-hosted instance, then you need to create a new credential. If you're using the cloud one, then you just need to log in with your Gmail account. In our case, I'll show you how to create a new credential. So just select here this plus create new credential item, and you will see this form. This OAuth redirect URL is set by default, and you cannot change it unless you want to redeploy your whole instance. And you just copy it for now, and that's it. But the more important question is, where do you get this client ID and client secret, and what is it at all? So in order to connect to your Gmail, you need to set up a project in Google Cloud Console. If you are not a developer, then it can be something new for you. I will walk you through this, so don't worry. So if you're not registered in Google Cloud Console, then just go and register. Just type it in the Google. And here in this Google Cloud platform, I'm already logged in, and I just need to change this. I'll change the account, and here I've got my first project. I think that's something that is created by default here. It absolutely doesn't matter. Here there is a very useful documentation how to create this connection, and if you scroll down here, you can see these steps, and that's what we are going to do now. We're going to go to the API and services first. So let's go here, API and services, and let's go to credentials. In these credentials, what we are doing is we need to select create credentials and OAuth client ID. So let's do that. Create credentials, OAuth client ID. And then in here you need to configure your consent screen, whatever, n8n, user support email, next, internal, external, let's select external, just enter your email. And then just finish. Okay, so we created our consent screen, and now we can configure the OAuth client. So in the application type, you can select web application, you can call it n8n, for example. So here is the authorized JavaScript origins, so you just add here the domain, whatever you have for your n8n. And then authorized redirect URLs, so you copy this one. And let's create. Now once it's created, it will show you this client ID that you need to copy and paste it here. And then client secret as well. And now you can test it. Let's save it first. Now you can test it and try to sign in with Google. I'll try to sign in with this email. So it will tell you that this is not ready, it's not past the check, and you need, if you want to access it, you need to be a test user. So that's another step you need to do if you're doing it on the self-hosted instance of n8n. So here you need to go to the audience and you need to add the test user. So let's do that. Let's just add my own email, codenbird@gmail.com, and let's save it. And now let's try again and see if we can sign in. I'm choosing it again. So it again warns me that this is the application that's still in the testing stage, and you don't have to worry about it. It's your own application, so you can grant permissions here and click continue. I'm sorry it's all in Russian here, but I guess you can manage anyway. The interface is quite intuitive. So now we are ready, we are connected. You can see here this nice green message says account connected. And now let's continue. Let's continue with the most interesting part. So here we are choosing this freshly created Gmail account too. And here we can add poll times. So this is how often this node will check for new emails in your inbox. You can do it every minute, every hour, and etc. Let's leave it as every minute for now. And on event is message received, and then you can add filters. So in these filters, you can say that you want to filter and check all the emails from certain sender. So in this sender, I will add my kids' school. And for this video, of course, I'm not adding the real name, real email address of my school. I just imitated it with some other emails. So I'm going to add this email here. And it means that I'm going to get all the emails from this sender. Now let's try if it works and fetch the test event. Okay, so it complains that Gmail API has not been used in this project. So another thing we need to do here is to go and enable the Gmail API. There is also a link here. So you can just copy this. It switches back to my other account all the time. But yeah, now you can just enable this. It is all going to work. Let's try again. And yeah, now it fetches the test email from school where it says, dear parents, we're inviting you, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is the first node is done, and we can now continue and add our AI agent that will do all the hard work for us. It will read the emails and figure out if it has information about events or not. So let's click here again and add an AI node, and here we will choose AI agent. And this AI agent has few other configurations we can add, and first is the chat model. So if you are running on the cloud n8n website, then you can just choose from what they have, but because I'm running the self-hosted instance, I need to add my own credentials for the AI. I already added these credentials, but I can just quickly show you what do you need to do. So basically you need to go to OpenAI website and create an API key, and then you paste it here, and you also need to create an organization ID. This is straightforward, I'm not going to do it again. So here I can just use one of those. And let's use GPT-4o mini, because that's the cheapest one and it's gonna be perfectly fine for our use case. And here we're also going to hit this toggle require specific output format, because we want to get our output as a JSON in certain format to be able to send it then to Google Calendar. And after we toggle these, we get this additional output parser here. So I'm going to select the structured output parser, and all you need to do here is to give an example of the output you want to get from this email. And I'm just going to copy and paste it here. So for my events, I want to get this kind of output. I want to get an event name, start date, end date, and description. And now let's configure the AI agent itself. We are going to add a little bit of customization here. So I'm going to change the system message from the default one. I will change it to a more customized one. So you're a helpful assistant who helps me to schedule school events in the calendar, analyze each mail and check if there is an event or date time mentioned, and then return it. If there is no event mentioned, do not return anything. Assume the dates are this year, 2025. The last line I had to add because by some reason ChatGPT model thought that events were scheduled for 2024, and it's just added it to my calendar but a year ago. So I had to add this specifically at the current year, and I guess you can modify that to detect the current year automatically, but I just don't want to bother for this particular tutorial. And now let's change our prompt a little bit. So now it just has this default JSON chat input, and it returns undefined because we don't have here any chat input. But what we are going to do, we're going to modify it this way. So we will define it below, and we will say subject, and subject would be, it's going to be JSON dot subject, and you can check that that's correct. It will show you the result. And then we are going to add the snippet. So that's the text of the email, and again you can do this with JSON. Actually this is extra. So JSON and snippet, and again it shows you the correct snippet here. And now you can execute step, and you will get this JSON output, an array of the events. And now you can work with this output to pass it further. But in case if our message doesn't have any events, this would return nothing, and we need to handle this case as well, but we're going to do it a bit later. So now let's try just to go the success path, and let's add a Google Calendar node here. Let's search for this Google Calendar, and we are going to use this action, create an event. And again, we are getting our output from previous node, and I already have these credentials. In order to create this credential, you do basically the same thing as before. You add your client ID and client secret, and then you will have to enable Google Calendar API here. So where we enabled the Gmail API, if you go back, just find Google Calendar API and enable it. Then go back to credentials, and you need to copy your client ID and your client secret again. And again, you need to sign in, choosing the tester email, continue, select all, continue. And account is connected. So we have our credential ready. There it is a resource, event, operation create, and we need to choose a calendar from the list. Once this is successfully connected, it will give you your calendar here. You just need to select it. And now we just need to replace these values here with our actual values here. Again, we can use the JSON, then we can use the start date, and another thing you need to do here, you need to convert it to date time. So that would be the date time, and here you need to do the same but for the end date. But I'm going just, for the simplicity, I'm just going to copy this over and just replace this and add a +1 hour. So it means that it always will start in the start date and end 1 hour later. But you can actually pass the end date here instead. It's fine. Just for some events you wouldn't have end date, and I find it a bit easier to do this instead. And you can also add additional fields here, for example, the description of the event. And let's do it. Let's add JSON. And then it would be output, description. And let's add a summary here as well. And for summary, we will add the event name. Now let's try to execute the step and see if it will do something. It says the node executed successfully and it returned some response. So now let's go and check our calendar. We are expecting it to be on 26th of June. So if I go to my Code and Bird calendar, okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm getting this on 26th of June. Amazing. That's what I expected to see. The only thing here is that I've got these 2 extra brackets. I will delete them, execute again, and now you can see the second one doesn't have these brackets anymore. It works fine. Let's delete this one. Yeah, so what do we need to do next? As I told you, in case if our email doesn't have an event, all this stuff will break because here we will get undefined. And we are going to handle it with the if node. So let's go and add it, if. And in this if node, we are going to check if the JSON output is not, if it exists, no. So this object exists. Now it says the condition is true. So if this condition is true, then we are going to pass it. We're going to pass it to the calendar. And if it's false, we're just going to do nothing. And how do we check that? Let me try and change the conditions in this Gmail trigger, and instead of getting these emails from school, I will change the sender For example, I'll change the sender to this one. I'm going just to fetch the test event. There is no events here, so if I execute workflow now, you can see the progress. Yeah, so because here the output exists but it's empty, it still continues and it tries to send something to the Google Calendar, and you can see that there is a problem because we have nothing to send there. So let's change this condition. Instead of exist, we are going to set it to is not empty, and let's try again. And you can see that it goes to the false route and nothing happens here, and we are not getting an error. So that's what we wanted to get. And the only last step that is left is to send a notification to the Telegram, just in case if I forget to check my calendar. So in this list of nodes, let's search for Telegram. And there are a bunch of actions. In our case, we want to send a message. We are going to send a text message. So here in the text, I can add a summary for event, for example, JSON, summary, and link. Again, it's going to be JSON and HTML link if you just want to go straight to the calendar and see your event. So in order to connect to your Telegram account, you need to create a new credential again. And then you need to create a bot to get the access token. So let's go and do that. Actually, I've already done that, and I've created this school bot, and I'm going to copy this API token and paste it here. Let's save it. And you need to add your chat ID. So just go to Telegram again, go to this get ID bot and ask it. Just do start, and it will tell you your chat ID where you can copy it. And let's execute step now. And we're getting this error here because before the bot actually can send messages to you, you need to send something to the bot. So let's go and find our bot here. So this is the test n8n school bot. Let's start chatting with it, and let's try again. And now it is successfully sending our message. And this is the message with a link to the calendar, so it all works as it should. And now when our workflow is ready, it's time to save it. And activate it so we can test it in real life conditions. So once it's activated, it starts to actually listen to the Gmail trigger. So let's test it out. So if I go to my email and try to send a dummy letter to the address that we use for testing, this codenbird.gmail.com, then our workflow should detect it and send a message to the Telegram and also create an item in the calendar. So I've just sent the email, and if I refresh it here, yeah, I've got it. So we're polling it every minute, so let's wait a little bit so it can come through. You can see the message about the new email, and also you can see it in your calendar here. Amazing, it all works. So that's it for today. I showed you how to create a simple n8n workflow that can drastically improve your day-to-day routine. I hope my video was useful for you, so if you enjoyed it, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for my channel. And if you want to see more content like that about AI, automation or software development, then hit the bell icon to get the notifications about my new videos as soon as they are out. And of course, if you already use n8n and you have any cool workflows to share, do it in the comments below the video. I'm really curious to see how do you use it.